The Black-owned Spotlight Show.
Day by day, we get better and better.
We get better and better.
Nothing is given.
Nothing is given.
Everything is earned.
Everything is earned.
Each of top three.
1, 2, 3, take it.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Day, and this is the Black-owned Spotlight Show, where I get a chance to sit down with some of today's most influential and inspirational Black business owners and open your mind to life beyond a 9-to-5. So today I'm here with none other than the Miss Lenesha Riley, aka Coach Riley of the Distinguished Gems. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So before we get started into the interview, I just want you to briefly introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Lenesha Riley, and I am the owner and founder of the Distinguished Gems Dance Company of Houston, Texas, and we was established in December of 2015.
Okay, so established in 2015 and it is now 2020, so that's about 5 years.
Yes.
So how has the Distinguished Gems transformed in those 5 years?
We've came from practicing in the community center to the park, anywhere we can practice, from my living room, and now we have our own building, and it's been a complete, like, a roller coaster, but it was all worth it.
Okay, and you now have this building.
Yes.
Just had the grand opening. How did that go?
The grand opening was amazing. The parking lot was filled with supporters. The kids performed. We got to show the community exactly who we are and what we do.
Lenesha and I met at Prairie View, and Lenesha actually left Prairie View to start this company, her dance company. So I really want to know, what made you decide to leave Prairie View and come do this full time?
Basically, I was unhappy, and I was to a point where I was okay with not pleasing everybody to please myself. And I made a decision one day. I called my mom, was like, this is not what I want to do. I want to start a dance company. It's going to be cool. And she was just like, man, don't leave school. Like, think about it. I'm like, I thought about it. This is not what I want to do. And I just left and started my company.
How long would you say that you took to think about it before you actually made the move?
A whole year.
A year? Okay, that's not a bad amount of time. I'm thinking you like a month or a week and then it's
Oh no, it was a year. It was from when I got there to when I left. I was there for a year and I was unhappy, and I'm like, I want to go back to what I was doing. Because before I went to Prairie View, when I was in high school, I was teaching step and dance at an elementary school.
And how did that make you feel, teaching that?
It brought out a whole different side of me. Like, I'm like, oh, I actually like kids? Like, wait, what? And it was just a whole different feel, and I'm like, these kids need me type thing. Like, they enjoyed the hour and 30 minutes I gave to them 2 days out the week.
So you left Prairie View, you decided to start your company, so I want you to talk about some of the challenges that you faced in, building your company up to what it is today.
So challenges I faced was basically getting people to see what I saw. Like, you can present something to somebody, but it takes a different individual to really see your vision and where you're going, because at the end of the day, it's your vision. So when I started, I was competing against teams who had 10 times more than me. They had a place to practice. They had supportive parents. They had advanced dancers. So it was a challenge that I basically faced, was really just staying in my lane and knowing that I'm not in competition with nobody but myself. And what's for me is for me, and what's for you is for you, and just staying focused. So I've struggled with finding a place to practice, having the best dancers, and just really just getting people to trust the process.
Let's go into the company itself. So you said you started with 7 dancers.
Yes.
So what is the recruitment process like to get dancers? Is it like, people can just bring their daughters to you or their sons to you? Do you actively go recruit people on social media? How's it work?
Actually, we're to a point where I don't respond to DMs. I don't respond to texts because I have. No, and it's no form of arrogant or anything. It's just the simple fact that I've had these kids from the beginning. I've built them from the ground up. They was here when we had nothing. And I just want them to enjoy what we have because it's been a process. Yeah. And nobody understands, how it feels to be in here more than me, than them. Because, we've been through it all. I've had parents to trust me with their kids at the park, at my house, hotel rooms, wherever we could practice. Okay. We was there. So the recruitment process, I do open enrollment once a year, and that's literally it. You have a lot of people who miss it that year, but they'll hit me up throughout the weeks and what do I have to do to get my child on the team? And I don't accept them because I do it one time and now I'm to a point where I can do that. You get what I mean? So, but no, we do open enrollment where, and it's basically first come, first serve. If you want to be here, if I post a date, be here. If you're not, you're going to have to wait another 365 days.
Oh, man. I mean, that's legit, though. That speaks volumes to your coaching ability for you to be able to do that and still have people responding and asking all year around, can I come? How can I get my daughter on the team? Have people tried to give you money?
Oh, yeah. I've had people offer me top dollar, but it's no amount of money for, I feel like this greatness can't be paid for.
True.
I've had people offer me top dollars. I'll pay whatever to get my baby on the team. I support, I do this, I do that. But my thing is, I set a date. If you wasn't here, it wasn't important to you. And sometimes people miss it and don't really, see it, but I have to stick firm on that because I have so many more people wanting to get in.
Yeah,
so.
No, very true. So with the challenges that we were talking about and the adversity that you went through, how did you stay motivated to even get to this place? Because it sounds like, I know that if I had to take my team to all these different places to practice, probably about the third time, I'd be like, okay, I'm done. So how did you stay motivated?
Because no matter where we was, they would show up and give it 110. And really, they were the fuel to my fire. I have a different breed of kids. They kept me motivated. And it was the support of the parents to let me know no matter where you at, we was here together. So we don't care. They really kept me motivated, honestly, because I'm not gonna lie, it's discouraging having a council practice because it's raining outside.
Yeah.
If we had a building, the rain wouldn't matter. So it was very discouraging. But when you know your purpose and why you're doing it, is you get strength from a whole different place.
Okay. So that's kind of like the second time you talked about purpose and your vision and just not being happy. And I'm very big on doing things that sit right with your spirit.
Yes.
So before you got to Prairie View, was it like you already knew that you wanted to do this, or?
I wouldn't say I already knew I wanted to do it because when I was working at the elementary school, teaching at the after-school program, it was fun. It was something I never did before because before that I played basketball. I tore my ACL and basically those dreams was over. And I've been dancing since, younger, but basketball kind of took over dance and then I resulted back to dance. And I just really enjoyed what I did and I had parents would ask me, where else do you teach it? I want to bring my baby to you. I want her to dance for you. She love you, this and that. And I'm like, I don't teach nowhere else. I just teach here.
Yeah.
And I was working under somebody, and it's crazy because the person I was working under, you got to think about it. When you're in high school, 16, 17 years old, making $25 an hour,
that's big money.
That's big money. Wait, what? And I think my senior year, I got to thinking wait, if she's paying me $25 an hour, what's she getting paid?
Her.
And I'm doing literally all the work. My boss ran her business from her house. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I just did some research and I actually took kids from the program I was already teaching, and I had a friend who worked there as well, and we started our own company. People don't know, but Distinguished Gems was not my first company.
Really? What was your first company?
It was called LADC.
What does that stand for?
It stands for Lenesha and the partner I had at the time, dance company.
Oh, okay.
And we had 46 kids to show up to our open enrollment. 46 kids.
So you spoke about being unhappy and leaving Prairie View to follow your dreams and, you know, do what makes you happy. So how important is that to you, and how important do you think that is to starting a business?
I feel like it's very important that you do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, nobody is dealing with what you have to deal with. Like, the pressure of making others happy is a lot. So I just feel like it's okay to go against the norm. Like, it's okay. My story isn't your story. Like, we want it to be a straight path, but it's not like that all the time. So it's hard. It's really hard, because you want to make people around you happy. You don't want to let anybody down. But at the same time, you got to put yourself first, because everybody else put their self first. And you just can't think about what people going to think, because if I would have did that, I would have still been unhappy and I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm happy for, you know, making a decision. It took me a year to make it, because it's hard. Like, I went back and forth on it, because my mom was actually proud of me. And I wanted to continue to make her proud. I wanted to give her a degree, but giving her a degree wasn't gonna make me happy.
So personally, although I did graduate with, you know, 2 degrees or whatever, I am an advocate for having a college degree doesn't equal success. It doesn't mean you're gonna be more successful or less successful than the next person. So what do you think about that?
I feel like having a degree doesn't define your success. I know people who are millionaires and don't have a degree. And I know people who have a degree and are in debt, struggling to find a job. So I just feel like it's about perception. And everybody's definition of success can be defined in a different way.
So what would you say to somebody, because I know there's probably somebody who's going to be watching this interview that may be in college and may have another passion on their mind and they're too afraid to go pursue their passion. I know personally I was. So what do you say to that person specifically that's scared to make that, you know, that take that first step?
Really just step out on faith and have a conversation with yourself and figure out what it is you want to do, what's your passion, what makes you happy, and just pray on it and ask him to guide you and lead you, and you're going to end up exactly where you're supposed to be, even if it don't feel right.
Very, very true, very true. So this is a question that I typically like to ask in all my interviews. So what is some advice that you would give someone who wants to be in your shoes, or any advice that you wish you would have known when you first started?
Advice that I typically like to give out is basically follow your dreams, pursue your passion, and just stay grounded and never compete with the next, and understand that our timing never really lines up with God's timing. And we may want it to happen today, tomorrow, but just know that, you know, you have to give him something to go off of, to know that he can trust you with the vision, and just go hard like it's already established.
Definitely. But that doesn't mean just trust in God and don't do the work.
Yeah, you got to do the leg work too, though.
Yes, I think a lot of people miss that part, the actual work part.
50-50 process.
Okay, so since you are a dance coach, before we cut this interview, I would like to learn a dance move.
Okay, what kind of dance move?
One that I can do in these heels.
But you know, my kids be flipping and tricking and all this other stuff.
You know they did that
So
little
we're gonna
walk,
keep it.
so-
We're gonna keep it simple. We can do a basic rock.
Okay.
All right. So,
Basic rock.
Yeah. So basically, this move is a basic rock. The girls do this rock when I'm letting them catch their breath, or you know, just to go into a whole different move. So you'll put your hands on your hip. You'll open your legs, close your fingers.
Oh, hold on.
And it's a simple left, right, left, right.
I don't feel like my legs are open
Yeah.
enough. Hold on.
Okay.
That's too wide.
Now that's too high.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so basically you just put your hand on your hip, you make sure your fingers are closed, and it's more of a left, right, 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 right. Simple. Yeah.
Well, you guys saw me go ahead and attempt to dance, but this is the real dancer. Lenesha, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to let me interview you. Is there anything that you want to share with people? Actually, go ahead and tell the people what's your social media.
Follow us on Instagram, it's distinguished.gems, and you can also follow us on Facebook at Distinguished Gems.
This has been another Black-owned Spotlight Show interview. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope that you tune in to the next episode. Peace.